I just got an earring. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you hate me? Do you want me to die? Okay. I made this drawing. I made it. So what am I talking about here? What am I doing? This drawing is of my two characters, OCs, original characters, Gary and Goo. They live in a world called Clod, which means dirt, which means earth. It's very clever. Gary accidentally turned Goo into a frog. More on that later. I began the process by doing some thumbnails. I thought I'd do 6, which was very optimistic of me, but I'm lazy. I'm a lazy boy. So I only did half of that. In the Instagram post, I'll crop out the rest of them, and it'll look like I was just gonna do 3 the entire time. First one, I already thought I thought I already knew what I wanted, because I had seen, what's his name? Jake Riviera? Paul Riviera? Well, whatever. I'll put it on screen later. It's time to move on. That's what I thought I wanted to do, but then I moved on and examined the other possibilities. For example, the freaking... you can't really tell what the second one's supposed to be. It was supposed to be a down shot of the city on his back, looking at Gary and Goo, my trademarked, copyrighted characters that you cannot use. But I thought it looked stupid. It also didn't show the creature, the lizard, which is what I wanted to show, really, especially the scale of it. And it's all lost. It's all lost doing that. It was a lost cause. It was stupid. Third one I did, loved it. Out the park, out the gate, beautiful. It was it's a little less technically impressive. Like the foreground plane is a bit wonky. There's no real depth to it, but I think compositionally it is served by being quite flat, and so that's what I decided to go with. I actually had notes for this. Yeah, I was writing down notes while I was drawing. Do you know anyone else who does that? Any other YouTuber ever? Yeah, probably all of them. But I just started, and so don't discourage me. Right. I got a bloody nose. I don't know. The third thumbnail, it was just so good that blood just started gushing. It was like an anime character. It was like, ah! It's such a good drawing! And so I had to go and take care of that. It actually went on one of my favorite shirts, which I need to now use spot remover on to get rid of, but that's life. I threw on some color by mostly just hue shifting it, going into color correction mode. I thought about using a gradient map, but I didn't like the results, so I decided to just do it by hand. And so, yeah, I mean, it looks super ugly right off the bat, but I knew what I was trying to do, and so I started doing that. I decided now might be a good point to, know what the fuck I'm doing. So I scoured the internet looking for the perfect image. I just went on Pinterest and searched lizard and grabbed the first one I could. So that's what you're seeing there. I decided to add in some birds into the mix to sort of show the scale. I wish maybe I had done a little more atmospheric separation between them now that I'm looking at it. I think it might have helped, but they are supposed to be in a desert. It's probably fine. Yes, and I'm sure, or maybe you're not, but maybe you are wondering about the blob in the bottom right-hand corner. That, my friend, is Goo. He's the frog guy I mentioned earlier. Story goes simple. Are you ready? Open your mind. Be ready to receive information. Gary is unemployed, much like myself. I put a lot of myself into the character, and looking for a job. And so he sees an opening at the palace where he may work as a janitor. And once he goes to apply, he gets mistakenly hired as the wizard instead. Gary, in a frantic tizzy, doesn't want to lose the job, so he does his best to learn magic overnight so that he can be prepared for the next day. Anyway, he's not prepared and ends up transforming the kingdom's standing army's general, or whoever is highest. I don't know, is lieutenant above that? Probably not. He's up there, you know. And he turns him into a frog. This leads everyone to believe that he's killed him, and in an attempt to bring him back to his former self, they have him kiss the princess. However, he is a poisonous frog, and the princess dies halfway through the transformation, leaving him stuck in a sort of in-between world of frog, maybe not frog. He's a featherless biped, so technically a man, if you think about it. And so they have to flee. Gary has a brother who actually does know magic, but, and this is the dilemma, he lives on their sort of South Pole type thing, and so they need to go there, which requires them crossing the entirety of the planet. And since they are incompetent fools, they spend most of the time going in circles or zigzags or polyhedrons. They do actually eventually get there, but that's not what this picture is about. This picture is when they are traversing the desert for no real good reason. And I don't need to tell you that frogs, I mean, sure, there are desert toads and shit, but I don't need to tell you that jungle frogs don't like the desert. And so our friend Goo, spelled G-U, not G-O-O, it's Japanese or Chinese for poison. I'm gonna have to look that up. It's Japanese for poison. It's Japanese for poison. It's Chinese for poison. Just, or maybe it was a specific Chinese poison. That might be it. Regardless, I actually think they used it. Fucking shut up. Anyway, Goo is very dehydrated, and so he is. I mean, he's actually wearing, because Gary usually has this cape because he's just cool like that. But they've sort of draped it over Goo to try and trap any moisture. I guess, I don't know. I just didn't want him. I just decided to have him be having the cape, okay? There's no other good reason other than I wanted it. He's being dragged on this sort of like desert sled. Eventually they get to ride this giant termite thing. Flash a thing on screen. Thank you, editor. At this point in the process, I didn't know what to do anymore. I didn't know how to go on from there. Like, just everything felt impossible. I didn't have a plan to proceed. It's sometimes when you have, sometimes when you have an art piece that is kind of like expansive and very detailed, it can be easy to get lost, which I did. And so once I reached this point, I had no idea what to do anymore. The only way to get out of that flunk was to sit down and play sad songs on my guitar until the neighbors hate me. But once I did that, and also walked like a marathon in circles around my house, I came back and I sat down and I just started thinking. Because you can't go right back to it. You need to look at it and you need to make like a game plan almost. And that's what I did. I think I started by just working on the character, Gary, because I know how to do that, and I needed a boost in my confidence. Once I did, I was feeling a lot better about everything, because, I mean, it came out great, I thought. And so I could move on to doing other things. I started detailing the rocks a little bit. I decided that the lizard's head should be white, because I'm racist against green lizards. Or something. And just continued on from there. I'm not gonna lie. This is not what the lizard looks like in my head. In truth, this is just like a fun little abstractation of what might be. I just wanted to paint something. But this lizard, the story goes, in my head at least, that you have this... Oh, why are all my symbols on screen? How did I not notice that? Am I an idiot? Oopsie. This lizard is of a species of lizards that tend to grow very big, explaining the fact that he is. Oh, weird. This kid finds this lizard, and I forget the story, to be honest. I'm going to give you the layman's version. Kid finds lizard. Kid and lizard's best friends. They tell kid, you need to kill the lizard. Lizard is dangerous. Will drain our resources. Kid says, no, I love him. He's my lizard. Lizard says, or something. I don't know. Lizard and child are cast out. Lizard and child go on for days through the desert. Lizard and child discover an oasis. Lizard and child set up a farm, a happy place to stay. Lizard and child grow old together. Maybe child gets a family, has children. Lizard becomes extremely large. Eventually, oasis begins to dry up. Lizard and child, who is not now adult, I guess lizard and adult's family, are in trouble. Adult has idea. Ding dong. I will get on the lizard. And they build a little house on the lizard. So now the lizard is a mobile home. And they can go to other oases. Oasi. Look up dictionary. They do that. Lizard keeps growing. Adult becomes old. Old, dies. Legacy carried on through the lizard and his children. Turns out, lizard is a great place to live. They have like a hump, like camels do, but like less explicitly so. And you can sort of drill into there for water. And lizard is okay with that because lizard's chill. Trust me, I know him. He's chill. Keeps expanding. Boom, village on there. Based off of in my head, I was thinking of the Greek village where they have like white clay, but also there were these really cool concept art pieces on Pinterest. That's pretty much it. Bob's your uncle. Everyone's happy. I don't have any more notes. All I can say is yeah, I hope this is a video. I hope there's a video in here somewhere. I also had a lot of trouble with, because I didn't plan the perspective at all, which was my stupidness. And so the boat sled thing is extremely wonky. I also spent eons failing to set the pose of goo, which was super annoying. Then once all that was done, I threw in my post-processing. I threw it in my post-processing blender, hit a watermark in there, posted it on Instagram, got 0 likes, and peace done. I like it. I think it's nice. It's not quite everything I would have hoped for, but when is anything? This was a bit of a different format than I've tended to do. And if it's nice, let me know. If it's terrible and awful and I should break both my legs, then don't let me know. I don't want to hear that. Thank you so much for watching. Click that like button. Oh, hang on. I can do a bit here. Click that like button. Comment like that. Subscribe. Tell someone you like their shoes or outfit. And ultimately, have a good day. I love you.